Hello everybody, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the treasure spawn that just came out for Ninetail Fox Megumin and the Goddess of Fortune Eris. Funny thing about this is I did the free collab spawn today, and I actually got the original SR version of the Ninetail Fox, so maybe that's a hint that I'll actually get the scroll for free. Now I'm joking, I'm not going to risk it. No way. Rates are way too low. So let's talk about the monsters, and then we're actually going to talk about the spawn. Just want to keep in mind for everybody, especially for you people that are new, this is going to be more of a pay to win spawn. You want to spawn a lot of times. You're guaranteed to get what you're looking for, but you need to spawn a certain amount of times before you can actually get what you're going for, and each time you spawn it's going to be 30 gems. So for sure it's pay to win. It's absolutely pay to win. So anyways, moving on from there, let's actually get to it. Okay, so we got start off Ninetail Fox Megumin. She's got pretty good damage. It's definitely going to leave a few scratches. She applies Kismet, so it flips any debuffs you have in a straight up buff. So if you got like 50% debuff, turns to a 50% buff, and whatever it is that you got. She's going to reduce all stats by 50% for all enemies, whatever you're fighting. She's going to increase cost recovery speed. She's going to activate, or she's going to apply a reliance state that nullifies Unison gouge reduction one time to all allies, and then she's going to remove frenzy from all enemies. So this is pretty much, if you don't know Noah, this is pretty much a 37. Instead of a time though element, it is a fire element. Noah. That's pretty much what this monster is. Biggest difference between this one and Noah is this one's got like cost recovery speed, and it reduces the stats of all enemies, and Noah instead like has like Kinjin as a buff instead, and that's mainly the big difference. And the awakening, obviously the fact that it's a higher cost, it's awakening and an element, is the biggest differences between this monster and Noah. Overall, no, this monster's not all too worth. It's not something you should dive in for. It's not like the meta or anything of the sort. Absolutely not. But there are a few circumstances where having a monster like this could come in great handy for sure. So that's pretty much what I gotta say about that one. Then we got the Goddess of Fortune Eris. With this one, it's kind of like Cecilla, to be fairly honest. This one's going to recover. It's actually going to be 90%. If you get it to its max skill level, it's going to be 90% HP. It's going to apply a 50-second continuous buff that applies every 10 or stacks every 10 seconds. It's going to boost all stats by 20 for 60 seconds for all allies. It's going to increase light elemental attack by 4 for 90 seconds. It's going to apply Kismet. It's going to apply Resurrection. Resurrection is pretty much like, say you're supposed to die, instead of dying you get, it's kind of like a free revive at 60%, and then it's going to cast Blessing, and it's got that AK boost and everything of the sort. So, like said, it's an element type, it's the same element as Cecilla. It has that Blessing and Resurrection kind of concept just like Cecilla. The biggest difference between this one and Cecilla is like, per se, for example, the other one, Eris, the Goddess of Fortune, she actually buffs. Cecilla doesn't buff. Cecilla does damage. Cecilla heals. Cecilla is great to counter Madia. A lot of people love doing Madia. She removes buffs from all enemies. She increases Unison gouge gains of all allies by 2. That comes in handy. Unison makes the world go round. And then that's pretty much it from there. She pretty much does everything that, like the Blessing and the Resurrection, is pretty much what this one does as well. The biggest difference is that one, this one like buffs, like actually gives like actual damage buffs. Cecilla gives other more helpful buffs that are usually going to be more, I wouldn't say more useful, but let's say more useful. I'd say more useful because like you want as much thing, like having Madia counters is very, very essential, very, very helpful, and having Unison gouge gains is very, very helpful as well, and it heals just like this one, and plus it does damage, so that's very, very cool. So that's pretty much the two monsters and everything surrounding it. So let's actually get to the treasure spawn and let's see what they got cooking. Okay, so 15 gems first time half off. From there it's 30 gems like I said before. If you didn't catch that, now I said it, it's 30 gems after the first time half off. You will have a double chance though. I'll explain that in a second. Okay, so There's no rates up. Whoa, okay, there might be. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to go. They don't say there's any rates up for Ninetail, Fox Megumin, and Goddess Eris. Just because there's a 6.12% chance doesn't mean you're going to get them. In fact, you're still probably going to have a really tough time getting them from the spawn 10 alone. So don't expect them to get, like, do not expect when you're doing this. Please don't expect to get it from the spawn 10, because if you do, that's suicide for your jumps, and I'm not kidding you. You will be also getting, though, 50 to 200 medals each time you spawn, and you'll be getting a chest. You'll be getting double chance, which allows you to choose 2 chests after your first time half off, and after each and every jackpot you obtain. So let's actually look and see what they got to offer. They got the cabbage harvest keys in 2 of the chests. They got 400 treasure medals and 1 of the side chests. They got feature gear, which is all of the collab gear so far, and 1 of the side chests, or the second half of all the collab gear. Then they're doing the XP quest key again. Then they got 900 to 1,300 treasure medals. I don't count the summoning scrolls. Summoning scrolls are on the jackpot for sure. There is a small chance you'll get them, but that's the issue. There's a small chance. The chance of getting medals overwhelms the summoning scrolls actually popping out. Granted, though, you have a higher chance of actually getting summoning scrolls to the jackpot than you do the spawn 10, ironically. But still, they really do have low rates. They try to make you get as much medals as you can to actually get the summoning scrolls. 10k medals. They actually want you to work towards getting medals, which you have to spawn a lot to actually get a lot of medals, like 10k, because that's a ridiculous amount. But anyways, so that's pretty much how it's going to work out and everything surrounding it. That's the 6 chests, what they got to offer. So personally, I wouldn't find, especially if you already have, like, if you got Aquarius or Cecilla, you're good to go. You don't need Eris. Eris is just a bonus, especially if you got Cecilla. Not really a purpose. Like, the whole purpose like any purpose that you would have in Aquarius versus this monster, Aquarius already buffs, so there's that already. This one does give a bit more buff, especially if you're dealing with dark or time enemies. It's a bit better, but that's the only occasion. And with this one versus Aquarius, biggest differences are this: gives more battle score. Instead of being it's a different element, and it gives more stats. That's the biggest difference. That is the biggest difference when it comes to them. So these are kind of like copycat monsters. If you already got the previous monsters that I really said, there's really not much of a difference. There really isn't. So that's all I gotta say about that. Other than that, the only reason you would be spawning this is to easily get prestige. If you see me talk about it before, you can absolutely, it's ridiculous with these treasure spawns how hard you can legitimately whale to actually get prestige, considering that you're going to be getting a feature gear with a side chest in rotation consistently, and you're getting cabbage harvest keys, quest keys, so that way you can keep getting that huge boost. On top of it, you're getting a 30% boost each time you unlock this feature gear. It doesn't matter if it's SSR or UR, you're getting a 30% boost off this gear. Once you start getting this gear, once you start equipping it, so you could just do that. Just max out as much prestige as you could get. You could go, like, I'm not even sure how much you could get, but you could just max out all your slots, have them filled with all types of weapons, prestige weapons and armors for no types of reasons, and just be getting the keys from the chest, and you'll be getting massive amounts of prestige. Massive amounts. So that's the treasure spawn and everything surrounding it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helped out. This is the AzureWrath, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.